The Legend of the Pionsettia, retold and illustrated by Tomie dePaola. Lucinda lived in a small village high up in the mountain of Mexico with her mama and her papa, her younger brother and sister, Paco and Lupe. Papa worked in the fields with their burro, Pepito. Every evening Lucinda fed Pepito, gave him fresh water, and filled his stall with clean straw. At home, Lucinda helped Mama clean their casita, their little house, and pat out the tortillas for their meals. She took care of Paco and Lupe, and each evening they went to the shrine of the Virgin of Guadalupe near the front gate to see if fresh candles were needed. But every day was not work. On Sundays, the family went to San Gabriel in the square where Padre Alvarez said the Mass, and all through the year there were fiestas and holy days, which also began with a procession that wound through the village and ended up in San Gabriel. One day, close to Christmas, La Navidad, Padre Alvarez came to the casita. "Ah, Senora Martinez, buenos dias, good day." Padre Alvarez said, "I'm here to ask you about the blanket which covers the figure of the baby Jesus in the Christmas procession. We've used the same one for many years, and it's almost worn out. Because your weaving is so fine, I have come to ask if you would make a new one." "Ma Padre," Lucinda's mother said, "I would be honored, and Lucinda will help me." On Saturday, Lucinda and Mama went to the market to buy the wool for the blanket. They chose the finest yard they could find. At home, Lucinda helped Mama dye the wool, the colors of the rainbow. "These colors will shine through the church," Papa said as he watched Lucinda and Mama string the yarn on the loom. As Christmas drew closer, everyone in the village was busy. All the mamas were making gifts to place at the manger of the baby Jesus in the church. The papas were putting up the manger scene in San Gabriel. Lucinda and the other children went to the church for singing practice for the Christmas Eve procession, when everyone would walk to San Gabriel, singing and carrying candles. Once inside, Padre Alvarez would lay the figure of the baby Jesus in the manger, and the villagers would go up and place their gifts around it. "Our gift will be the blanket for the baby Jesus," Lucinda told her friends, "and I'm helping Mama weave it." One afternoon, a few days before Christmas Eve, Lucinda and the children were singing in the church when Senor Gomez came hurrying in. "Lucinda, you must come home. Your Mama is sick, and your Papa has taken her down to the town to see the doctor. You must take care of your brother and sister until your Papa returns tonight." Lucinda was frightened because Mama had never been sick before. When she got home, Paco and Lupe were crying. They were frightened too. Lucinda tried to comfort them. She made some food and sat down to wait for Papa. That evening, Papa came in looking tired and worried. He drew Lucinda close and said, "Lucinda, Manita, your Mama is ill. Your aunt, Tia Carmen, will take care of Mama until she's well, but I must go back and stay with Mama until I can bring her home. It won't be until after Christmas. Senor Gomez will take care of you and Paco and Lupe while I'm gone. She will come for you tomorrow." The next afternoon, Lucinda overheard two women talking. "Lucinda's Mama is ill. She won't be able to finish the blanket for the procession. Isn't it a shame?" "See," said the other woman. "We're all so disappointed. Padre Alvarez will have to use the same old worn-out one." When Lucinda went home to feed Pepito and get clothes for Paco and Lupe and herself, she looked at the unfinished blanket on the loom. "Perhaps I can finish it," she thought. But when she sat down and tried to weave, the yarn got tangled. The more she tried to untangle it, the worse it got. It was of no use. She could never finish it by herself. She took the unfinished blanket to Senora Gomez. "Oh, Lucinda, it is so tangled. There isn't time for me to fix it," Senora Gomez told her. "Tomorrow is Christmas Eve." Lucinda started to cry. It was her fault the blanket had been ruined. Her family wouldn't have a gift to place at the manger for the baby Jesus. "Don't worry, Lucinda. We will go to the procession together." Lucinda didn't say anything, but in her heart she felt that she had ruined Christmas. "Come, Paco, come, Lupe. It's time to go to the procession. Senora Gomez called on Christmas Eve. "Where is Lucinda?" She was nowhere to be found. Lucinda was hiding. From the shadows, Lucinda watched everyone gather for the procession. The candles were lit, the singing began, and the villagers walked to San Gabriel, carrying gifts to place at the manger. Lucinda was walking along in the darkness and watched the procession go into the church, followed by Padre Alvarez carrying the baby Jesus. "Little girl, are you Lucinda?" An old woman stood in the shadow nearby. "Si," Lucinda answered, answering who she was. "I have a message for you. Your mom is going to be fine, and your papa will bring her home soon, so you don't have to worry. Now go into the church and celebrate Christmas with the others. Paco and Lupe are waiting for you." "I can't," Lucinda told her. "I don't have a gift for the baby Jesus. My mama and I were weaving a beautiful blanket, but I couldn't finish it. I tried, but I only got it tangled all up." "Oh, Lucinda, a gift is beautiful because it is given," said the old woman. "Whatever you give, the baby Jesus will love because it comes from you." "But what can I give now?" Lucinda said, looking around. A patch of tall green weeds grew in a tangle nearby. Lucinda rushed over and picked an armful. "Do you think these would be all right?" Lucinda turned to ask the old woman, but she was gone. Lucinda walked into the church. It was blazing with candlelight, and the children were singing as she walked quietly down the aisle, with a bundle of green weeds in her arms. "What is Lucinda carrying?" a woman whispered. "Why is she bringing weeds into the church?" Another one murmured. Lucinda reached the manger scene. She placed the green weeds around the stable, and she lowered her head, and she prayed. A hush fell over the church. Voices began to whisper. Look at the weeds!" Lucinda opened her eyes and looked up. Each weed was flamed with a flaming red star. The manger glowed and shimmered as if lit by hundreds of candles. When everyone went outside after the Mass, all the church clumps of tall green weeds throughout the town were shining with red stars. Lucinda's simple gift, had indeed become beautiful. And every Christmas to this day, the red stars shine on top of green branches in Mexico. The people call the plants La Flor de Nochebuena, the flower of the holy night, or the poinsettia. When I first heard the Mexican legend about the poinsettia, about a little girl who offers weeds to the Christ child as her gift for Christmas, I was touched by it as only Christmas can touch me. I knew that one day I wanted to recreate the story in pictures for children. The lovely Mexican wildflowers known by many names in Mexico: Flor de Flugo, fire flower; Flora de Navidad, Christmas flower; or Flora de la Nochebuena, flower of the holy night, the name I've used in this story. The poinsettia found its way to the United States through Dr. Joel Roberts Poinsettia, who served as our nation's minister to Mexico from 1825 to 1830. He was fascinated with its beauty and called the plant painted leaves because the parts often thought of as the flower actually consist of leaves surrounding a smaller flower portion. He took cuttings home with him to South Carolina when he returned from Mexico in 1830. The Christmas plant, which we call poinsettia after Dr. Poinsett, found its way into our Christmas traditions, and nothing seems to say Merry Christmas better than a beautiful red and green poinsettia. The Legend of the Poinsettia by Tomie dePaola.